वेलकम बैक। आज हम देखेंगे एक अजीब सी बकरी यानी कि ऑकवर्ड गोट को एंड हाउ आई बिलीव दैट हर बायस, हर फेमिनिस्टिक बायस, हर एंटायर perspective, her thought process is probably a hindrance in her therapy, in her practice. I know that she practices because she has a website. She has uploaded a video about her having a website, and I'll look into that as well. But yeah, she practices currently, and the way she thinks, the thinking pattern she has online as an influencer shows very less empathy towards men, shows a higher percentage of hate towards men, and her recent video of about the Atul Subhash case is just disheartening and disgusting coming from a psychologist. So I'll include that video, but I just want to start with her thing and then we can discuss. So let's start.
This is what I made for my husband's lunch. A lot of housewives make this type of content these days, and it makes me so annoyed. I know what you're thinking. These feminists have a problem with everything. What's wrong with cooking for your husband? Nothing. I believe that everyone should cook. Not just women, everyone. So my problem is that every single reel that they make is them making meals for their husband, as if they don't eat themselves or do anything else as women. Most of these videos are not.
Yeah, they do eat. Of course, they do eat. They are living beings. They eat. They make the meals for their husbands because the prerequisite that she is coming into this video with is that these creators are housewives, so they eat, but that the meal that they make for their husband is a tiffin for his off. How is this so foreign and distant of a thought that a housewife is making a meal for her husband's tiffin and you have to have an outrage over it? Because apparently you think that they do not eat.
Even about the food or the recipes. They're just about how they're cooking for their husband. They try to push this idea that your only identity as a woman is to make sure that your husband is well fed. If you check the comment section, men are always writing how they want a wife like the creator, selflessly serving them. No complaints. Baby boy, they're working women. They're content creators pretending to be housewives. They are independent, strong willed women shooting, editing, conceptualizing, and earning money. Probably more than their husbands. You don't want that. You want the character that they have made of a wife who does nothing but cook for her husband. Wife with no passion, no vision, no interest, no identity. Truth is, they're not just cooking. They're cooking up a story to get them views, and you're falling for it.
How idiotic do you have to be to genuinely believe that the content creators are just housewives who just cook for their husbands? I'm talking about the guys who she is referring to. And then, how, on a level above that, how idiotic do you have to be to believe that these guys think that a woman is just in a kitchen and she's just a robot who's just making food for her husband? My friend, you need to understand that a characteristic or a duty of someone does not define their entire life. She genuinely believes that men think that a woman is something that we keep in our kitchens, who cook for their husbands, not for themselves, who cook and clean, and that's it. They do not have, she thinks that we genuinely believe that women do not have personalities, desires, wishes. We do not love them, they do not love us, they do not love our family, they do not love their own family. They are not complex humans beings. This is what she's claiming that we as men believe. How idiotic do you have to be a psychologist and think in such unidirectional way because of your entire feministic bias, patriarchal bias, and you come with so much hate for men? अगला वीडियो देखते हैं.
कल मार्केट में नया इंसल्ट आया है, फादरलेस. एज इफ दैट्स अ फैक्चुअली करेक्ट इंसल्ट. मोस्ट फादर्स को पूछो कि आपका बच्चा कौन सी क्लास में पढ़ रहा है, देर से मुझे नहीं पता, आस्क देयर मदर.
That's generalization. Let's if she's claiming of something to not be a factual insult, then I would like to point out how many times she is generalizing.
Fatherless is not a factually correct insult. It should be motherless because mostly mothers are the ones who bring up children.
Generalizing.
Mostly fathers think कि वो पैसे दे रहे हैं तो बस हो गया उनका काम. And
She is not a father, she does not have the thinking of a man.
it doesn't even matter if both the parents are working and contributing to the household. Mothers
So negating everything that you have said so far.
are still the main parents who are a part of the parenting process.
Absolutely not. That is a generalization. It depends on family to family, situation to situation, individual to individual. You need to understand that there is not a formula to life.
Visit a parent teacher meeting and see for yourself.
Again, by the look of it, I believe that she has never visited a parent teacher meeting. I have seen so many fathers just being there, listening to what the teacher has to say and understanding it in a very logical way in order to make arrangements for the child, be it for tuition, be it for something else. I don't understand which privileged class she's coming from where she's only seeing mothers in a parent teacher meeting, because probably the mother, I would like to generalize, and because probably the mothers are housewives and they have enough free time, because fathers are busting their asses off in business meetings, right? This, since we are generalizing everything, let's talk in
I
rhetorics.
can assure you, fathers will not be in the majority. It's honestly so sad because I think that fathers can also be great parents.
I do not think you think that. I absolutely do not think you think that because of your bias.
It's not just the mother's job. Anyway, that's not the point of this reel. तो insult करना है तो motherless बोलो. Mothers का credit fathers को मत दो.
Now I will try to elaborate what a fatherless behavior is. Fatherless behavior is when you do not have a father. The insult is not about you being taken care of for your life. The insult is that your father did not discipline you well throughout your life, because of which you're acting out of character. That's the insult. It does not include anything to do with how mother nurture the child. It's about discipline. Kudos to every mother who disciplines their child properly and that child grows up well. But in general, the father is the one who has the responsibility to properly discipline a child. The fear that comes into a child of not doing something that's great in order to be a good social being. So that's the insult. It's not about moving on.
Growing up, did your parents ever change in front of you? If your dad was comfortable changing in front of you and you saw his nipples but did not see your mom shirtless, it means that your upbringing was sexist. I'm a psychologist.
We are all sexists. All our families are sexists. Your family is sexist. My family is sexist. हमारे सारे पूर्वज सेक्सिस्ट थे. ब्रिटिश सेक्सिस्ट है, अफ्रीकन सेक्सिस्ट है, रशियन सेक्सिस्ट है, कोरियन सेक्सिस्ट है, इंडियन सेक्सिस्ट है, पाकिस्तानी सेक्सिस्ट है, अफगानिस्तानी सेक्सिस्ट है, बांग्लादेशी सेक्सिस्ट है. मेरी माँ की माँ सेक्सिस्ट थी, मेरे बाप का बाप सेक्सिस्ट था, इसके पूरे ख़ानदान में सारे लोग सेक्सिस्ट. तुम सेक्सिस्ट हो, मैं सेक्सिस्ट, सब सेक्सिस्ट है. मोदी जी सेक्सिस्ट है. it's it's so funny. It's so funny how she thinks with so much privilege, how she just negates every general social conduct, social norm, and she believes that her opinions matter so much.
Let me explain. What we know about gender is not taught in school but by our parents. They don't even realize they're doing it. For example, it's okay for your father to be shirtless in front of you. But if your mother does it, it's creepy and cheap. Why? Why is it not cheap when your father is changing his shirt in front of you? Why is it cheap to see your mother's nipples? I'm sure even hearing this makes you uncomfortable. That's the sexism. It's funny because nipples aren't.
Let me tell you the reason. A father is a shameless being. A mother is not a shameless being. Happy? Moving on. I'm done with this reel. It's a music. When a guy tells me his in-laws are mistreating him, so I tell him marriage is all about compromise and he should learn to adjust for his happiness. When a guy tells me his in-laws are mistreating him, so I tell him marriage is all about compromise and he should learn to adjust for his happiness. Now, since she is in the women in male dominated fields, I believe she's representing a male psychologist's thought process. And I would like to clarify this: male psychologists do not think like this. Male psychologists do not bring up compromise and adjustments. You know who do? Every single mother in law. A huge pillar of the patriarchy is women. A huge pillar. So you need to understand that the patriarchy you are fighting is supported by women. All the crimes against women, I genuinely believe all the crimes against women are done by male who are monsters. I believe that. I believe that it's not about not all men, but it's about men in general, men who are monsters. I believe that. But when you talk about this compromise and adjustment, the patriarchy that you're referring to has been supported for ages by your mothers and mother in laws. I would like to rest that and I would like to focus on how she's so skewed with her like perspective as a therapist that she believes anything she wants to and has no empathy or no, like, she's very delusional when it comes to the point of view that she has. And she's a practicing therapist. This is her advertising about her own website.
Icon on a website actually comes from concepts that I believe in as a therapist. Let's have a look at them. For example, the couch is kind of imperfect. It has soft edges and the lines are not straight because that's how humans are. Imperfect, and that makes them cute, just like the couch. Then the clock, it actually tells you the real time. For example, if you open the website at like 3:30, you'll see the time as 3:30 on this clock. So if you ever forget your watch, you can just open our website to look at the time. I also decided to keep a clock there because it denotes that firstly, therapy takes time, and secondly, therapy has boundaries. That means that the therapist and the client are not friends, which is why therapy has a time limit. Usually therapy sessions are for 1 hour, so clients don't get dependent. There is structure and science involved in the therapy session. In this part, I wanted to show you that we're open to all kinds of people in our therapy sessions. From different genders, identities, sexualities, ethnicities, age groups. We don't judge anyone. Let me know if you want me to explain.
Let's get to the reel about Atul Subhash, and that previous reel was just to let you know that she's a practicing therapist. Watch this reel very carefully.
A lot of men want women to talk about the recent Atul Subhash case. Not because they feel strongly about men's mental health or men's rights, but because they want to discredit feminism. Feminism is about fighting patriarchy. The same patriarchy that makes lawmakers protect women. Why does the concept of alimony exist? It's to protect the financially weaker group of people, which is usually women, because they're usually encouraged to stay in the kitchen, not get educated or financially independent. Now, if you have a problem with the laws protecting women, maybe you should become a feminist and empower the women. That will make them financially independent. By the way, even the husband can get alimony if the wife earns more than him. Alimony is not just for women. If you have a problem with alimony, just marry a woman who earns more than you. And this is for the men who are saying that all women are gold diggers. I just have one thing to say to you. Not all women, okay?
But she will gladly present the theory of not matlab, all men, right? And people continue to say not all men, but anyway, I will not get into that conversation. What I want to talk about is इससे पिछले वीडियो पे इससे पिछले वीडियो मेरी थी अबाउट अतुल सुभाष. इफ़ यू वांट टू गेट more knowledge in that area, watch that video. I'm fumbling because I'm genuinely angry at this point. I did not want to talk about this person with anger, but I am seeing so much hate and vitriol in her that I thought of making this video. Chalo, Let's start dissecting this entire reel.
A lot of men want women to talk about the recent Atul Subhash case. Not because they
One, no, no. We do not want women to talk about Atul Subhash case. No, we don't. We want more attention to the fact that a man has ended his life. It has cost a man his life, and he is not getting even the slightest bit of outrage. There is no candle march, there is no protest, there is nothing for a man who has ended his life due to injustice.
they feel strongly about men's mental health or
No, we do genuinely feel very strongly about men's mental health, me included.
men's rights. But because
The face that she has made is the point that I'm is the reason why I'm making this video. The face of men's rights, it's disgusting. It's so disgusting to make a video about a topic that you know nothing about. Based on your video that you have made, you know nothing about it, and you have made a video for more attention at this point, and you're coming at it through the point of view of the wife, that women deserve alimony. Women, the laws are made in favor of women because they are mistreated by men. Of course, that's the foundation. But men also do not deserve injustice. That's something that has been brushed off very, very conveniently in this reel.
they want to discredit feminism. Feminism
No, we can't care any less about feminism at this point. A man has ended his life. A man has ended his life because he was getting mistreated and continuous false cases by his ex-wife, who's a monster. And the judge supported that wife. A female judge supported that wife and wanted bribe of 5 lakh in order to settle the case. So he decided to end his life. It's not about feminism. Stop making it about your agenda when the point of this entire situation is that a man has ended his life and there is no justice given to him, or there has been no changes made in order to protect men from these evil women.
is about fighting patriarchy. The same patriarchy that makes lawmakers protect women. Why does the
No, lawmaker is asking 5 lakh rupees in order to settle that case. That's the lawmaker.
concept of alimony exist? It's to protect a financially weaker group of people, which is
The wife was a proper engineer in Accenture.
usually women, because they're usually encouraged to stay in the kitchen, not get educated or financially
Engineer in Accenture.
independent. Now, if you have a problem with the laws protecting women, maybe you should become a feminist and empower the women.
Or maybe the women should stop putting false cases on men.
That will make them financially independent. By the way, even the
If you're not financially independent, go work a job instead of asking your husband for alimony.
husband can get alimony if the wife earns more than him. Alimony is not
No. No. Not in this justice system. No.
just for women. If you have a problem with alimony, just marry a woman who earns more than you. And this is for the men who are saying that all women are gold diggers. I just have one thing to say to you. Not all women.
Same way, not all men. I am so tired of her, of seeing her, of her bullshit, of her agenda, that in the community of a psychologist, I did not in my wildest dreams thought that there will be an evil psychologist. A psychologist with so much privilege and so much bias that she cannot see beyond her filters of what she believes is the rosy right thing to do. She wants to be an activist, a feminist against patriarchy, but her viewpoint is so unidirectional that she cannot think of men as another like living being. She continuously continues to victimize herself and every other woman, discrediting all the effort that they have done to be independent and not a victim. And she continues to make a culprit out of every single man. All men come under her radar of agenda, which is why I believe that she is a horrible therapist. That's about it. मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में. Bye.